So last week we have done the programming for the what you called adder. Okay. So today we'll do the programming for first 4-bit adder. Then so today's agenda is first we will finish 4-bit adder. Then we'll do the flip flop. Then we'll do the counter, and then we'll go to the Wallace multiplier. Carry look ahead adder you may design using the 4-bit adders technique. So I will basically tell you how to do a structural programming today. So the whole session will be related to how to do a structural programming, how to write the flip-flops, how to write the counters, what will be the differences between these, and how to synthesize and check the results. What is exactly expected from all these projects. Uh, so we'll look into it. So we'll start the session. So first, I will show you and if at the end time permits, I will finish the carry look ahead adder also. Okay, because Wallace tree will take a lot of time for understanding as well as programming. So first, I will show you what we have done last week. So hope everyone is having this program. Adder program. I hope everyone got this last program. Okay, is everybody having this program? Please tell me. All of
Yes,
you
sir.
must be, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So we will start a new program. So let's see. Yes, streaming started.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So look at this fulladder.v. So now we wanted to create a 4-bit adder. So I will make something like this, a code. Okay. So write down here bit for adder in the same uh, project. So open the previous project. In the same project, we have to write a new code, which will include the previous adder. Okay. So I'm writing bit for adder. So if you are doing particular coding from once, you just have to keep the same project. You don't have to change the project until and unless your design is changed completely. So next, I want inputs A in, comma B in of size 4-bit. Okay, I write here comma. It is dot. Next, C in of 1-bit only, and sum is the output of size 3 down to 0, and carry is 1-bit. Next, finish. So please finish this part up so we can start the next part. I hope now everyone is okay with the Xilinx. Everyone has installed the Xilinx. I have not floated the assignment because many people were facing problem with installation and they were not able to cope up with many things. So I have not floated first assignment up till now. But today I will float all the assignments. All assignments will be on by today. People need time for this workshop. So because I am getting many queries from many people. So please finish this. Are you all done with this? Once you finish, please tell me. So we have to create bit4 adder module. Later I will tell you how to make this program generic. What do you mean by generic? We'll see. So in this program, we'll see all these things. So why HDL is popular, you will come to know after that program. Please make this program in the same project which we made earlier. If you have not made full adder, quickly make a full adder or download it from the resource I have provided. The resource is available on the site. You may use that as a reference. Okay. Is it done? Shall we move ahead? Please tell me. Shall I move ahead? Are you all done with this program? This part? Please tell me if you are done with this. Are you all done with this? Shall I move ahead? Please tell me. Or I have to show the procedure again. Okay.
No, sir, we can go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Please tell me. So otherwise, there will not be any understanding. Okay. Now we wanted, what we have to do is, we wanted to design a 4-bit adder. So please look at this section. What we have to do is, I will start the Google Jamboard so I can explain what exactly we wanted to do. Till then, you all please finish your basic code. So if anybody is not done with the code, they will finish the basic code. So we have to create a 4-bit adder. So let's see what we have to do. Okay. What we have to do is, we have to create a 4-bit adder. So as I said, we should design everything before programming. So before starting the program, we'll design. Okay. So I have inputs like this. So this is A, which is 3 down to 0. And this is B, which is 3 down to 0. And there is C. This is C in. Okay. Now I have inside 4 full adders. I wanted to instantiate 4 full adders like this. So the 4 full adders will be like this. Now what happens? This A and B, I will write something like this. Basically, these are the inputs. So these will be like this. This is A, B. 4 inputs. Okay, so this is A0, B0, and this is A3, B3. Okay, this is A3, B3, and this is C in. So that C in will be something like this. So C in is coming from this side. Okay, and this is a passing carry. Now you can see the ports will be like this. This is output. This is carry. This is the last carry. This is output. Okay, and these are the sums as we generally design. Okay. So this is S, sorry, S0, S1, S2, S3, or I can call it as a sum 0, sum 1, sum 2, sum 3. Okay, so this is sum 0, 1, 2, 3, and this is carry. And here I am sending input. So now this is full adder. Each and every full adder is there. So this is FA. I want 4 instantiations. So I will create 4 instantiations, and with these 4 instantiations, I will be having, so there will be 4 instantiations, and with these 4 instantiations, these will be the inputs which I already developed, and these are the internal signals. So this is wire. Okay, so I can call it as a carry wire or a C wire. So this is C1, C2, and C3. 3 signals we wanted, and there will be one output. Okay, so C1, C2, C3, these will be the wires we wanted, and carry will be the output we wanted to create. So that's it. This is what we have to do. Simple. So let's do it. So I will create one wire. So how to create a wire? Write like this. Wire C1, C2, C3. That's it. 3 wires we needed. And then instantiation. Instantiation, how to do it? Like, write something like this. Adder DUT1. So this is entity, the entity name. Here it is called as an entity. So I am calling this function. So this name and this name, these two must match. Then and then only the function will be called. So that means this module will be called when this name is matched. So generally in C, C++ programming, we call the module or a function by name. In the same way, here we are calling the module by name. Now we wanted to map the ports. Okay, so mapping the ports, what is the method? The idea is simple. For mapping the inputs, what I have to do is I have to map A in 0 to A in, B in 0 to B in, C in 0 to C in. Okay, so first I will write something like this. In 0, comma, C. Here the importance is to the position. So instead of A in, if I write here B in, then B in will be mapped to the A in and A in will be mapped to the B in. Okay, so if I write here B in, then what happens is for the input A in the full adder, there it will take for input in the full adder, it will take B in instead of A in. So importance here is given to the position where you are writing the input. Okay, so this is called as a positional mapping. There is associative mapping also. you can specifically mention which port is mapped to which. So B in, then I'm writing C in, then see, this is how you can write. So I'm accessing the zeroth input of A in, zeroth input of B in, and C in is the carry in, and mapping it to some 0 as we have done, and carry. So here you can't write carry, so you may write C1. See this. The output is C1. So I will make change here. Watch this. A0, B0. As is in the same way I will write. So there will not be any difference. There will not be any difference and no confusion will be there. So I will write here. So A0, A in, 0, and this is B in, 0. So that I can write here. What happened? Okay, B in 0. So this is A in 0, B in 0, and this is some 0. In the same way, we can manage the remaining part. So just copy paste it. Control C, Control V, Control V, and Control V 4 times. Now this is A in 1, A in 2, A in 3. Then B in 1, B in 2, B in 3. Then C in की जगह अभी यहाँ क्या आएगा? Here you have to write C1. Then here you have to write, it will become C2 and this become sum1. Then you have to write here C2, then C3. So in the same way, you have to go ahead. See what I am doing here. See this C1 is the output was the first full adder, which is given as an input to the next full adder. So C1 will become an input. This C1 will become an input for the next full adder. So instead of a C in, I am writing C1. So this C1 is mapped here. C2 is mapped here. C3 will go here. And the last output, this. You can see this. So this is up to this, I can write A in 3 and B in 3. Okay. So this is A in 3, B in 3. And this is sum 3. And this is carry. So C1, C2, C3 we already mapped. So the last here I will write carry. Done. Okay. So you can see this. Now I can make it as a top module. Hello. Yeah. So this is done. Now synthesize. Let's see whether it gets synthesized or not. So everybody please finish up to this point. I will wait for 5 minutes. Is there any query? There is some error. We'll see what is the error. Okay, I have written the same label to everything. So this is the label should be different. So create a multiple labels. Here there will be problem 2 and 3. Sorry, 3. Please finish it quickly. Okay, rerun. Otherwise, there will be multiple driver. Multiple driver means one signal is forced by two different inputs. That is called multiple driver, which is not in the allowed in the hardware. Reason being, if you uh, force one output from two inputs, the result will be ambiguity. See that it is successful. So we can see the RTL schematic. The RTL will look like something this. Okay, look at this. The RTL will be something like this. So this is our paper pen method. If you can see this. One full adder, it is looped again and again. It is used. Okay, so this is a full adder. It is a bit you can see. Now, when you see the technology schematic, you will come to know the exact kind of structure is created. See this. So total 8 lookup tables used, 4 for carry, 4 for the sum. So total 8 lookup tables. If you can see the summary reports, you will come to know total number of lookup tables 8 and the slices are 4. Why? Because in one slice there will be 2 lookup tables. So that's why total number of lookup tables 8 and the total number of slices will be 4. So total 1408 lookup tables are there. From that we have used 8. So is it clear? Everybody please tell me. So we can simulate this code. Once you finish with this, please finish it quickly with 4 adder. Are you all done with this?
Yes, sir.
So now we can move ahead for the test bench. Okay, let's see the test bench for this. Okay, Verilog test bench. So I will write bit bit4 adder tp. Give a proper name to all the files. I suggest most of the time give relevant names because it won't create problem when you debug the thing. There will not be problem until and unless there is a bug. Once there is a bug, you see waveform, then you see code again. So just looking at the name, you will be able to find out from which module this signal is coming. So give such kind of names, relevant naming. It will help a lot in a programming. Many times people do not follow the naming conventions, and that creates more problems while uh, handling all these things. Okay, so now we are creating a simple test bench. So what you have to do is you just have to add a simple code at always add. You may finish this part. Till then I will copy directly the test bench. I have written already. I have a written test bench for my code. I already written most of the codes. I will share all these codes with all of you. So I have written the same way code. can show you. Simple technique I have used to do the thing. You can see. I use the same method the previous time used. The only thing is that here instead of doing the negation, I am adding +1. So every 5 seconds, Cin will be toggled. Every 10 seconds, Ain will be toggled. Every 160 seconds, Bin will be toggled. The same logic. Not toggled, incremented. A and B will be incremented, C will be toggled. So every 5 seconds, C is toggling and A and B are incremented 10 and 60 nanoseconds respectively. After 60 and nanoseconds respectively. Okay. You can see this now. We can simulate this code. Bit 4 adder. Let's simulate. Let's see what we get. There is some error. Okay. We can add the code mistakenly. Files. There are 2 files already in the simulation. So that is creating the problem. I will remove this file. One of the file I have to remove. So I will remove this file. Okay. Now we will simulate. Then I will tell you how to make this code generic and why generic is needed. That is more important in the programming. These are very basic part right now we are learning. Okay, watch this now. So now, please everybody concentrate on the screen. How to test these things? Because now this is very large. How are you going to test this? Until and unless you become a very good, very proficient programmer, it is very difficult to test these kind of things. Uh, After you understand programming, you will be able to write a logic in the code itself to test it. So how to do that? That obviously require a lot of practice. So I'm not going into those things. The simple thing you can do is go there and click on the right click and make radix to unsigned decimal. Just select the signals and make right click and make it unsigned decimal. Okay. Once you make it unsigned decimal, what you have to do is you have to track signal which is changing continuously. That is C. So look at this. I'm tracking C. After every 5 nanosecond, it is changing. Okay. So 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. In the same way, we can go here. See this. 14 plus 2. 14 plus 2, which is 16, which is nothing but 1 and 0. All zeros. You can see this. 1 and zeros. That means 16. Because this carry is 1. So here you can see this 1 0 0 0 is 16. Okay. Then again 0 plus 3 is 4. You can see here 0 plus 3 is 3. Okay, because this is 3 and this is 0, 3. Then 3 plus 1 is 4. See this 1 plus 3 is 4. This is 0. Then 1 plus 3 plus 1 is 5. So in that way you can test. Or there is another way, you can make all these on and you will be able to check it. There are many constructs in the Verilog which will help you to find out uh, how to test the internal signals if anything goes wrong. Another thing you can do is if you wanted to see the internal signals of the modules, that is also possible in the simulation. What you have to do is on the left hand side you can see the bit adder TB. Under that click on UUT. Under UUT you will find the multiple signals. So what you can do is you can say add all these signals. See, UUT has multiple signals. So you can add this signal. If you click on UUT, you can see the input signals of the UUT, and you can, let's say मुझे C1, C2, C3 के results देखने हैं. So I will make it add to waveform, and I will restart the simulation. Here, restart the simulation and simulate. See this. Now I can see the C1, C2, C3 also. So it is possible to see C1, C2, C3 also, the internal signals of the modules, which are not visible in the hardware. Please remember, these C1, C2, C3 are not visible in the module. There is a utility in the Verilog test bench also called as a hierarchical operators. These hierarchical operators bring internal signals from the module to the test bench. But that takes hardware if you put it into the actual programming. But this, if you do in simulation, there will not be any hardware. So basically, this is a viewing utility only. So hierarchical operators also you can use, or this is a simple method. You can directly take the signals from the DU UUT and put it into the waveform, and you can check the results. Okay. So I hope up to this point everything is clear. Is there any question? If you have any question, please ask. I'll wait for 5 minutes, and if you have any questions, I will answer that question. In the next section, I'm going to start Wallace multiplier. So up to this session, everything will be remaining to the basic. We'll stick to the basics. Are you all done with this? Please tell me. Everyone? Are you all finished with this programming? Now the question is, if I wanted to make this as a 32-bit adder, how can we do it? Is it possible to make it as a 32-bit adder or a 16-bit adder or a 8-bit adder? See, if I wanted to write 8-bit adder, I have to change the complete code. ये इसको उठाना पड़ेगा, फिर से add करना पड़ेगा, modify करना पड़ेगा. That I have to do. Is there an alternative for this?
We can
So
use this as a submodule for it for a 32-bit because this
yeah,
is a
that is
4-bit
another solution. But if I wanted to make a modification in the same code, how to do it? See, many time what happens is we have lots of design. Let's say I have wanted to instantiate 100 modules. So is it advisable to write 100 modules? Because it will be a very difficult task. Because I have to copy this again and again, 100 times, then check the inputs, which will be a very tedious task. It takes time, as well as it consumes a lot of energy to check each and everything. The solution is called as a generic programming. You can use and generate multiple instances on the same time. How to do it? See this parameter. There is utility called as a parameter. You may write this as a width is equal to 4. Okay, you may write something like this. So for doing this, what you have to do is you have to make a small change into the circuit. Okay, I will make a new program. So I will keep this program as it is. I will create a new program and I will tell you how to do it. Okay, I will write a new source Verilog module. Then here I will write generic adder. The test bench will remain same. Test bench will not change. कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा test bench पे. I am just changing the input. What I am doing, I'll show you. Okay, I'm writing A in B in C in sum L, but I am not giving any width for all of this. Okay, so I am not putting a width, or I can put up a width if I want to. So I will make it 3 down to 0 currently. So later I can modify it, and I can make it 3 down to 0 and next finish. So you may write your own code also if you want. See what I am doing here now. Please check. In, be in. Okay. See in, then sum
So
and
B is
carry.
missing. B is
Yeah,
missing.
yeah. Be in. I'm writing. Be in, C in, sum, carry. Okay. Now this is first I'm declaring input here. Only inputs are declared, but its width not declared in the declaration. See the change in the code. Okay. Parameter width is equal to 4. Okay. I will write it as a equals to 4 semicolon, and I will make this change as width minus 1 down to 0. Okay. Then I will make a small change. Input Cin, that is 1 bit input only. Then carry will be output, and this will be output carry, and I am making this as a width minus 1 down to 0. So that's it. Now what happens? See this. What is the change in the code? Now whatever the parameter I will change, accordingly the width will change. Now the same program we have to change also. We have to make the changes in the program also. So now I wanted a wire. I don't know how much is the length of the wire. So wire inter sig. That means I am saying intermediate sig, or I will write CA sig. That means carry sig. I don't know the width, so I will write here right now. जितना भी width होगा उससे एक कम. Whatever is the width, less than that, 1 less than that much is I have to do. Okay, so I will write here, or I can write directly width down to 0. Same width का बनाओ, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. एक हाथ सिग्नल ज्यादा हुआ तो बाद में डिलीट कर सकते हैं हम लोग. So I am writing here wire sig. Now what I have to write? I have to write a statement called generic. Now this is the biggest tip you can remember for your Verilog programming. Every time it is not needed to remember the Verilog syntax. In fact, I do not remember any of the syntaxes. I am coding, but I do not remember any of the syntax. I can't. It is very difficult to remember the syntax, and please note down, students, teachers, syntax doesn't matter. The reason is nowadays the tools are so smart that they can create the syntax. You have to write a logic. So more importance is given nowadays to writing the logic, not to writing a syntax. Why I am saying that? See this. I will show you. The Xilinx itself creates a utility and it helps. So click on this bulb. If you click on the bulb, you can see the codes, Verilog. So in that I am clicking on the Verilog. In that I have to click on the synthesis constructs. You can see all the syntaxes are shown. This is a syntax. You just have to make change in the code. See this. Simple flop. Everything is written. Each and everything. If you do these codings also, you will be an expert programmer. You just have to see what code I wanted to write. Just copy it, change the names, and done. Only thing you have to do is you have to change the name. So right now I wanted to write a code for a generate, and I wanted to write a simple generate code. So I wanted a multiple instance. So I will take as it is. Okay. So I will show you how to do it. I'm copying this generate code. Okay. I have copied it. Just for understanding purpose, I'm using it. See this genvar. So genvar, it will create a variable. So I will create a variable j. The way you write in a C coding, you just have to write in the same way. J is equal to 0, j smaller than width. लिमिट कितना है हमारा, width तक जाना है. Then j is equal to j plus 1. That's it. So this is a for loop which will move from j is equal to 0 to width. Whatever will be the length of the width, accordingly it will move. Then begin, give a label. So I am writing create adder, or I can write adder gen, or whatever name you wanted to give. Now instantiation. What to do in instantiation? I have to write the same code. Just copy this code from here to here. Simple. Nothing changed. Instead of writing this, I can write here j. Here I can write j. Instead of writing cin, what I have to write? I have to write ca sig j and some j and ca sig j plus 1. That means next instance. Okay, that's it. Then now advantage. Here one thing I have to change again. I have to write here assign ca sig 0 is equal to cin, because input I have to assign to the 0th bit of the wire, because now cin is not visible in this. So I have to mark this cin here to ca60. See what happened. Now ca6 j plus 1, and last statement I have to write after completion of the generate. Assign carry equals to ca sig what, this is 0, this is 1, sorry, 0 1 2 3 4. So that means fourth. So I have taken a correct length, width minus 0, 4 down to 0, 1 extra. That's it. Done. Now see this. You can see under generic adder there will be one utility, one DUT only, which is called again adder. Okay. So is this code understood? Is there any question? Now what is the advantage?
Sir, at the end that you have given CASIC 4, how
Hmm.
will you come to know that 4 has to begin? Because
What, madam?
width is variable, na? So how will you
Yes,
come to know CS signal 4 has to be given to carry?
because that is the last width, na? ये वाला है. So you can write here width instead of that.
Acha, acha. Instead of that, can we take width as an input, sir, from the user?
No, we can't take, because it will not change the other inputs, na?
Okay.
I have to change the width of A in B in also generically. So it
Okay.
is like a dynamic variable which you are changing, and everything is changing
Okay.
inside. If I make it as an input, I can't use it as a length for another input, because it is a port. Once you make it as a port, it won't work. Okay, I will make it as a top module and I will synthesize it. Let's see, will it work or not? There might be error, we'll solve it. Or there might not be any error. Let's see what happens. See, now done. I have done RTL schematic series A in, B in. So the same kind of code is generated. You can see last time also the same thing is generated, right? Then RTL schematic. Let's see the RTL schematic. See, the same RTL schematic is generated. Although I have written a different code. Okay. Now, what is the difference we'll see? For that, first we'll see the report. How many? 4 slices, 8 lookup tables. Remember this, 4 slices, 8 lookup tables. Now what I will do is, I will make the parameter as 8. Let's make the parameter 8 and synthesize it again. So I have changed the parameter to 8. Will it work? First, I have written a simple code for which I am changing the width and everything will change. So now the code is generic. Multiple instances will be generated depending upon the parameter. Let's see whether it is happening or not. So see this, now it becomes 7 down to 0. If I click on this, see this. The hardware remains the same, RTL hardware, only the length is changed. But now see the technology schematic. The technology schematic is completely changed because this is, see this. Now 16 lookup tables are used. You can see this in the design summary. See this, number of slices 9 and 4 lookup tables 16. So total 16 lookup tables used. In the same way, you can make it to 32, it will work. You may try. Is there any question now? Everyone understood what I did? And please try to use this utility. If you are not able to code very quickly, use it. In the VHDL also, you can write UCFs also. See this, a specific UCF for FPGA is also given. You can find it out. Configuration module, devices. So everything is given. You just have to go and check what is given in the help. So this help is freely available. You may use it directly. Okay. You can remove the language. So done. Have you all understood the logic behind it? Please tell me. If you have any question, please ask. We'll talk about it. If you got any question. Have you all understood how I did the generic coding?
Yes, sir.
So this will be very helpful when you are doing the projects. You don't have to write a multiple modules. The general tendency is people write lot of codes, lot of adders, lot of full adders, half adders. So multiple modules will be there. So when you go and debug it, it is very difficult to debug. This will be very easy to handle, as well as you can scale the module very easily. Very helpful for scaling the design. So I can scale it directly to 32-bit, just changing the width value to the 32. So if I change it to 32, the module will be 32-bit generic adder. So this coding is very much popular in the industries, and industries do wanted to use this type of codings. So very popular type of coding. I hope it is clear now. Are you all done with this? So just I will wait for 5 minutes, then we'll go to the next module. Please finish it. Then we'll go to the simple coding, that is a D-latch. I'll wait for 5 minutes if you want to finish the code. Then I will start again. Please finish it quickly. Okay, everyone done? Shall we go to the next module? Okay, now we'll go to, shall we download it? If you want to download it, you have to do some kind of coding like this. So this is a, okay, just a minute. I will show you the, I have downloaded also this code onto the board. So if you want to download it, you may use this kind of a UCF file. So this is a UCF which you can use. You can see sum 0, 1, 2, 3 carry and LED 5, 6, 7 which you can use. Multiple LEDs you can use and one carry you may use. So this is not required actually, only 5 this is required. So sum 0, 1, 2, 3. So pin 46, 7, 48, 49 and 50. And for the inputs you may use this. See this, A in 0, A in 1, A in 2, A in 3. So 68, 69, 70 and 64th pin and 58, 59, 60, 63rd pin for B0 to B in. And for C0, C in you may use 80. So these will be switches. One switch I am taking from the push button. So this is a push button switch. You may try. So you may just synthesize that and it will work. Bit 4 adder. So right now this is written for the bit 4 adder. Set as top module and it will work for bit 4 adder. Okay, so shall we go ahead? I hope everyone has done up to this generic programming, generic coding technique. Then I will start the latches and flip-flop. Okay, wait a minute. I will start with the latches and flip-flop. Okay, now start new source. We will write latch. We will write something like this, latch. Verilog module. Next, I will be having input clock, enable as an input, and out as output. Next, and finish. So you may try this. I'm creating a new latch called as a clock, enable out, and finish. Okay, so whoever is not knowing what is difference between the latch and flop, please remember the latches are level triggered and the flip flops are edge triggered. Okay, so generally if you see the simple code, I can tell you the simple thing. So if this is the clock, this is the clock. So whoever is not knowing, whoever knowing, there is no need to understand new things. So it is just a repetition for them. Clock, and if it is a data, something like this. Okay. So now I am writing a positive edge triggered clock. So these are all positive edges of a clock. Okay. So these are positive edges. So the clock will trigger only on these edges. Sorry, the design will trigger only on these edges. For the flop, for the flop. So this is a positive edge. This is data. Okay, that is input data. Now, when I'm taking the output for the clock, whatever data is there on the edge, that will be sampled. So here 0 is there, so 0 will be sampled. Up to this, the result will be 0. Here it will change the position because data is 1 here. So it will go to 1 and it will again come back here to 0 because here the result is 0. Now see the difference. Here there is a switch happened in between in this clock, but that is not taken. It will take only the change which is happened onto the edge. So it will go down up to this point and again it will switch back to 1 like this, and it will remain 1 up to this point, and then there will not be any change. See this is flop. So this is output for the flip flop. Now what happens in case of the latch? So in case of a latch checks the this level. इसको check करेगा latch. This is for latch. Okay. So latch is checking levels. These levels. So I can write here latch. This is for flop. Okay, now see this. At the start, there will not be any change for the latch also, but at this point, it is changing. So this change will be accepted by the latch, but not by the flop. Okay, the flop is not changing, but latch is changing. Again, it will change at this point, as this is on the positive edge, positive level, sorry, and then it will go up to this point. See this, here it got down, so यहाँ से ये change यहाँ तक जाएगा up to this point. Again this change is taken, and this change will be maintained up to this point. Although here there is a change, here there is a change, there is no change, but here this change is not taken, but latch has taken. Here this change is kept as it is by the flop. Okay, see this, ये यहाँ तक ये वाला change और ये वाला change फ्लॉप ने लिया ही नहीं है, जबकि लैच ने लिया. Latch has taken this change. Okay, now it will go up to this point and then it will be down. So this is different between the flip-flop and latch. So please remember this change. You have to understand this change for understanding the flop and latch. I hope everyone know this. There is no more explanation needed for this. Okay. So we'll see how to write a flip-flop and latch. Let's see our template. Will it help us? I can show you every time this template if you want. So I'm writing latch right now. So let's see, flip-flops में latch लिखा हुआ है क्या? No, they have not written the latch. Is there anywhere they have written the latch? Sometimes they write, sometimes they don't write few things. So latch is not written, I guess. Generally, we expect simple latch to be written here. No, they have not written the latch. Flip-flops are written, but latches are not written. Okay, latch is not written. So we will write. Anyways, I have code written. I will show you the code. I will not write each and every code. I will explain all these codes to all of you, how to do a coding and everything. Okay. So I'm trying to create a D-latch with positive edge and negative reset. Okay. So let's see what is there written. So I will first copy this and then we'll talk about it. Or I will write a fresh code here anyways. I'm not using reset, so I will directly use the enable instead of anything. So I will write something like this. Always at shit, I have not saved the code, I guess, mistakenly. You want Mazza? Yes. Okay, so I mistakenly made a change. Okay. So I will write here. Okay, this is called the always block. Okay, always block. Up till now, whatever block we have seen, all those are parallel programming. Here we have seen the parallel programming. All these statements are executing concurrently on the same time. Everything is getting executed parallelly. That means all adders are getting executed parallelly. But in this case, the statements will get executed sequentially as happens in the C programming. The same kind of program we can write here. What we have to do is here, see this, there is one more thing we have to do. We have to write something like this, register D out. That means here output we have to register. So generally we write something like this, register, or you can write here also register if you want something like that. That is also allowed, but I am specifically writing register D out. Okay, always at clock, then enable. So that means it will trigger at clock and enable. And I will write if enable, then if enable, then simple write D out is equal to D in. I have not taken input. So I will mark here one more input as D in, which is missing there. Or a data, you can call is as a data. Okay. So D in and D out. And here I will write end, and end module is already there. That's it. Simple. Yeah, I have to write semicolon. Okay, that's it. I hope now everything is okay. What happened? Output D out. Syntax error. Yes. Here we need input lock enable D in. What's got wrong here? Okay. I have to write something in a different way. Nothing wrong is written. What is the error? Error can open. Error is here.
सर सेमीकोलन पाहिजे का डी आउट इज इक्वल टू डी इन
तिथे तर
28
पाहिजे
नंबर
सर, पण तो एरर वरती दाखवतोय. मी ते बघतोय की वरती काय एरर आहे. हा एरर काय ते मला कळलेलं नाही. There is one error here, which is I'm not understanding. Actually, that is probably यहाँ semicolon नहीं, यहाँ comma चाहिए, because there are multiple ports.
हाँ लास्ट लाइन ला बरोबर. हाँ
Yeah.
डी इन 22 नंबर लाइन ला कॉमा लास्ट ला सेमीकोलन.
Yeah. तिथे पण comma पाहिजे, and probably it will work. Now it should work, I guess. Why it is there? ये सब जगह चल रहा है, ये क्यों नहीं चल रहा है? Okay, it will work. And Okay. Okay, now it will work. So this is simple. So look at this. For always clock and enable. Why I'm writing clock and enable in the bracket? It means if enable and clock, if there is a change on clock or enable, the data will change. Here I have to write D in also. That means these are sensitive to the clock. Or you may write something like this. Generally, I get confused with the syntax of VHDL. Clock और enable और DIN, इसमें से किसी पे भी change होता है तो output will be changed. So all these are sensitive to the data. That's what it means. That's it. And we can synthesize. You may synthesize it. Okay. Let's see the RTL code. Okay, sorry, mistakenly I synthesized the previous one. Set as top model and it will work. Let's synthesize. Error. Redeclaration of D out. So I have to write here rate. Redeclaration is not allowed. Okay, see this, there is no error, but warning. What is warning? Input clock is never used. This port will be preserved or left unconnected with top level value. Found 1-bit latch for a signal D out. See this. Here clock is actually not useful because I am using enable, and that's why there is no use of a clock. So I can remove the clock, or I can mark it as a enable. That is correct actually. So this is simple change I can do, and that will work. Now it will be a latch. Actually, I used enable or a clock. See here the change is happening on the level. That's why we used enable, but there is no need to use. So found 1-bit latch for a signal D out. So it is showing a warning. So generally in the Xilinx you can find there will be a warning in the message if mistakenly latch is formed. So whenever you actually create a latch, then also there will be a warning. This is a latch, you can see. And RTL schematic, check it. So this is RTL schematic. So this is LD, look up latch, and this is BUFG. We will see the design summary report also. You can see there will be 0 slices used and 3 bounded LABs as latch is by default created. So no actual hardware is taken, but there is a formation of a latch. You can simulate it also and you can check. Okay, first ये complete करो, मैं आपको latch का program simulate करके दिखाता हूँ. Just finish it, then we'll go to the flip-flop and counter. We have to finish it very quickly, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll come back and start Wallace tree. So basically 25th pre-recorded session I have not given. So I'm covering all those things in today's session. Instead of a pre-recorded session, you can watch this session, and latch, flip-flop, counter, everything will be covered. In fact, I have covered up the generic programming also. I hope everyone is clear with this. Now we have to write a test bench for it. You may write a simple test bench for it. And if you are doing coding with all of you, if you are doing coding, that's very good. अगर आपका coding चल रहा है साथ में तो try to do coding. It will be very helpful because this session will be useful when you do the coding. Actual coding is needed in all these sessions. Okay. So there is another way you can write this thing. We can add reset also if you want. So I will write reset and I will say here or reset, and I can write something like this. If not of reset, then d out equals to 1.b 0, else if d out is equal to d in. That's what I have written here. In. So what happens here now? Reset is added. So if reset is 1, reset will be having a higher priority than the enable. So if reset is 1, d out will be 0, else d out will be 1. That's it. So you can see, synthesize it and check. You may check it. I'll give 2 minutes time, then I will write a test bench. Is there any question? Is there any question? Please tell me if you have any question. There was mistake because I have not put down a. So there is a change in. So now you can see there is a clock D in reset. Clear signal is used, and technology schematic you can see. There is one clear signal added through 2 inverters. Internally ratch is taken, so mostly there will not be any hardware. One slice is added now. Now lookup table is there because of the clear signal. Otherwise there will not be any hardware. So I hope everyone understood this. So I will go to the next part, that is writing a test bench for it. So VH Verilog fixed register for it. So I will write latch TB. Next. Now I have to select latch, next, and finish. See, the test bench will be similar. There will be register, clock, D in, reset, wire, D out. I have initialized the entity. Starting clock is equal to like this, and write only one statement. Always hash 5 clock is equal to not of clock. That's it. And simple you can write reset is equal to 0 for 100. 100 के बाद ये reset change हो जाएगा. Okay. Okay, let's see what happens. reset equals to because it is a active low reset. So only I am giving input. Data is 0 right now. I have not given any data which can be given. Okay. So this simple program I can use as a reference and simple thing we can do. I can write something like 25. After that, data is changing, and here I can make that simple change. That's it. Enough for us. I hope it will work now. Failed. Why there is an error? Clock is unknown type. Why unknown type? Was for data. Here D in. Here D in. Is there any error? Not a clock. Okay, look at the simulation. You may check the simulation. You can see here there will not be any change as reset is 0 up to this point. After that, data is changed. Whenever the data is changed, that output is shifted. Here you can see. Every how many seconds it is changing. Check. This is 50 to 75. 25. I have given time 25. But here the data was not accepted here because clock signal is not 1 at that time. So why this change is not taken? Because reset is 1. Okay, up to this point reset was 0. So that's why the change was not taken. Change was taken from this point. Okay. So once enable got 1, here data was 0, then 1, then 0, 1. So you can see the change on the D out. So this is latch. So is there any question related to latch? If you have any question, please tell me. I will answer that question. Otherwise, we'll start with the flip-flop. Flip-flop is similar. There is no very big change. A small change I have to do and it will convert to the flip-flop. The same code we can write. Okay, I hope there will not be any question. So I will start with the flip-flop. If you have any question, please ask. Or I will start the new code. Okay, so I will start the new code right away. So flip-flop, I'm writing it as a FF module. As I already explained what is flip-flop, we will see this. These are simple module which I am creating. So for that, I'm writing input as clock, then reset and enable, then D in. So these are the inputs for my design. Okay, and output as D out. So this is output. Next and finish. So I will write this as a range. That's it. So I have to write the same code always at only I have to write here pause age US age of clock or make age reset. What does it mean? It means positive age of a clock and negative age of reset. On that, it will set the input. Here you don't have to write each and every thing. Here you are saying this reset is asynchronous reset. Okay, this is a asynchronous reset. Pause age of a clock, so the flip flop will trigger on the positive age of a clock, and it will get triggered, or the reset will trigger at the negative age. Okay, so of the reset, so that means active low reset. So I will write if reset, then D out equals to 1 dash B 0, else if enable, then, or I can directly write D out is equal to D in. Then in. This is simple code. I will give 5 minutes time to write this code. If there is a mistake or something, you can check from this. See this. You may check multiple signal flip-flops from this. So I'm writing currently a positive age triggered flip-flop. So you can write only pause age clock begin range is equal to signal. Simple. Or asynchronous high, I'm writing this code. Pause age of a reset and else begin whatever the signal is. If I wanted to write, see, I am selecting this asynchronous active low, active high reset or something you can add consistently here. So enable, if you do not want to add clock enable, so here I have added the clock enable. So pause age of clock, neg age of reset. If not of reset, 1 dash B and else if, you can write if clock enable begin range. That's it. It is that simple. We may try. Okay. Please check this. And we'll synthesize it. Let's synthesize. Make it as a set as top module. If you are not able to write the code, please use this utility, language template. There is an error. Okay. There is an incompatibility, as I said, yeah, because I have written neg age reset and I have used reset. Okay, now it will work. Now we are going to take a small break after this. After I will take counter and then we'll take break. So flip-flop, you can see clock, D in, enable, reset. One flip-flop got created. So it's a FDC. Previously it was a latch. technology schematic, you can see the same technology schematic. So here, technology schematic, one flip-flop is taken and design synthesis. One slice, 4 input LUTs, one. It has taken LUT, not flop. Actually, it should take a flop. Why it has taken a, okay, it has created a, okay. It should take one flop. Yes, one flop is taken here. You can see utilizations in IOV flip-flop 1. So FDC is created. One lookup table is. This is simple. I hope everyone understood this. Now create a simulation for it. Anybody is having any question? If you have any question, please tell me. If you got any question related to it, please tell me. Okay. Okay, now I will write a test bench for it. New source, Verilog test fixture. I will write FF test. Next, FF, next, finish. You have to write the same test bench which you have written for the latch. Only you have to check the difference between what is the change between the output. The test bench, technically there is no difference. It is the same thing which I have used. Nothing has been changed. See this, nothing changed. It's similar. Everything is similar. I'm changing data at 25 and always, and I'm changing enable at 17. Enable is equal to not of enable after 17, and din is changing at 25. I can make it 23, and reset will be made 1. Okay, so check this now. Simulation. I'm used the same kind of a test bench. There is no big change I have made. Enable is switched on and off in between, and I'm checking the result. The extra enable is there. You can see this. The clock is changing. See this clock. Whenever enable is 1 and I'm getting a positive edge, this din getting transferred to the output. So up to this point, nothing has been changed because reset was on. Reset is down here. So after this, it is checking enable. Whenever the enable is 1, that data is passed to the output. So this data didn't change up to this point. Reason being, enable was down up to this point. Once the enable is 1, on the edge of the clock, data is changed. See this. Again here, data is changed. So this is flop. Simple. Is there any question? Shall I finish this simulation? And the last thing we have to write is a counter after this. And then we'll take a break. And in the next session, I will start Wallace tree multiplier. I want one suggestion. Shall I allow students in the meet for Wallace tree multiplier? Or they will watch on the stream? Anybody can tell me? Okay. Okay, this part is done. So we are finished with the latch flip-flop, and then we'll start with the last part for today's first session. This is the last part. Yash, are you able to hold the stream for half an hour after this program? Just
Okay,
pause
sir.
it.
Okay.
Yeah. After this
Okay.
program, counter program, you may stop the stream. Okay.
What, sir? Could you please repeat your last instruction?
After this program, you may pause the stream. We will start after 12:30 again.
Okay. Okay, sir. All right. Okay.
I will take 15 minutes to finish this program, and we'll restart at 12:45.
12:45. All right, sir.
Okay.
Okay. I'll
Yeah.
I'll pause the stream at that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir. Can you hear, sir? Hello. Sir,
Yes.
sir, you are on mute. We couldn't hear you if you were trying to talk to us.
Okay. So now am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Actually, there was an error which I was finding. There was comma missing. That's why all the problems were coming.
Oh, all right. Okay, sir.
Now everything is done. Okay, you can see this is a counter which will be having clock, reset, and up down. Here we are using different type of assignments. We will talk about these assignments later. I'm not using a equal sign. I'm using these assignments. These are called as a non-blocking assignments. So what are these non-blocking assignments? What are blocking assignments? We'll talk about it later. Right now we have used non-blocking assignments. And you can see this is a counter which I have made. You can see this is flip-flops and this is the summary report. So total number of slices 4 as the slice flip-flops 4 and input LUT is 4. So total 4 lookup tables or four flip-flops are used as we are creating a 4-bit counter. Okay. So due to the 4-bit counter, it has used 4 flip-flops. So you can see here. These are the 4 flip-flops. FDC, wherever you are finding 1, 2, 3, 4. And these are the lookup tables used. Yeah. So this is all about counter. You may write the test bench in the same way which we have written earlier. So it will count from 1 to 4, 1 to 15. Simple test bench, you may, or I will write in 2 minutes and I will finish. Very quickly, I will finish it. New source, I will write Verilog fixture for counter PB. Next, nothing has been changed. A same kind of test bench I am writing. You may modify test bench the way you want it to modify. So this is simple. If I am making this as a reset is equal to 0 and this will be 1 as I'm using a pause edge of a reset. Okay, you can see here it is a pause edge of a reset. So that's why I'm making now 1 and all other blocks will remain the same. Always here already I have written the code for flip-flop test. I will copy the same code and modify it. Nothing has been changed here. Only thing is that after clock there will be here there will be up down. Down. This is not needed. There is no data. Okay, this is simulated. Let's see what happens. Is it counting or not? We'll see. If it is counting, then our simulation is done. Let me check this. Something wrong. I have simulated. I have to simulate this counter TB. Mistakenly, I have simulated flip-flop test. So now I'm simulating a counter. Hopefully it will work. Is there a yes, there is error. Error near reset because semicolon is missing. So I have removed the semicolon and simulating the behavioral model. Check this. You can see this. So data is getting changed after reset got 0. After 100 nanosecond, data reset got 0 and data is changing. I'm changing it to unsigned decimal. Now you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can see it is changing in a different time. Reason being the enable is set in that way. If I make enable to set properly, it will change with similar time. Right now the enable is changing at a different time. So that's why the results will be like that. Okay. You can see this. So this is a counter. So if anybody is having any question, please ask, or I will stop the session. So our first session is over. Is there any question? Please tell me.